Hello students, now let us solve the fourth question of this paper. So we are given this equation f of x is equal to x cube minus 2x square multiplied by root x plus 14, and we need to solve the equation f dash x, that is the first derivative of the function, is equal to 0. So I'll just rewrite the question over here. So we have uh, f of x is equal to x cube minus 2x square multiplied by root x plus 14. This is the function. Now we need to take the first derivative, sorry. So before that, I'll just convert this root x is nothing but x to the power 1 by 2. So I'll just multiply these two terms together. Now we need to apply the formula, that is a to the power m multiplied by a to the power n is equal to a to the power m plus n. So you just need to add the powers over here. So that is 2 plus half, which will give you 2.5. So that is x cube minus 2 times x to the power 2.5 plus 14. You don't need to write all the steps. I'm just explaining it for your understanding if anyone has a doubt in that particular portion. So basically you can directly write from here to here. That also is fine. Okay. Now we take the first derivative. So the derivative of x cube is 3x to the power 2, and for this one it is going to be we know x to the power n, the derivative is n x to the power n minus 1. So I'll just write it down separately for that particular portion, so there won't be any doubt. So here n is 2.5 for the second term, so that will be 2.5 x to the power 2.5 minus 1, which is nothing but 2.5 x to the power 1.5. This is 2 times 2.5 x to the power 1.5. So we have 3x square minus 5 times x to the power 1.5. So this is the first derivative. Now they have given that we need to solve it by equating it to 0. So they have given that f dash of x is equal to 0. So we can equate this equation to 0. So we can bring this term to the other side. So now that becomes, I'll bring all the constants to one side, and the x terms I'll bring it to one side. So I can divide the whole thing by x to the power 1.5, and the 3 I'll bring it to the other side. So this is x to the power 2 divided by x to the power 1.5 is equal to 5 by 3, and this is nothing but x. We know that a to the power m divided by a to the power n is equal to a to the power n minus n. So this is x to the power 2 minus 1.5 is equal to 5 by 3. Again, you don't need to write all the steps. It is just explained so that if anyone has a doubt, they can follow it easily. So this is x to the power 0.5, and x to the power 0.5 is nothing but root x itself. So root x is equal to 5 by 3. So x will give you 25 by 9. You need to square on both sides. So the value of x is equal to 25 by 9. Okay. So this is a 5-mark question. So we'll just go through the mark division also. So the first mark is for correct differentiation of this portion. So this will give you the first independent mark. And the second mark, that is the differentiation of the second term, if you are doing this term correctly, um, to obtain the correct expression. So this particular term is only the thing that they are looking for. So if that is correct, then you will be getting the method mark for this one. And if you are writing the whole term correctly, then you'll get the third mark, the accuracy mark. And the next mark is for solving that to 0. So this is actually a dependent mark over here. So if your first method, that is this method, is correct, then only you'll be able to get this mark. That is what DM means. It's a dependent method mark. So it depends on the method mark above. So if you don't get a mark over here, in the previous method, you won't be able to get a mark over here also. And the last mark is for the final answer over here, which carries the accuracy mark. Now the second part is we need to show that the equation, um, the second derivative equation is equal to 66 can be written in this format. Okay, so this equation we need to show that it is written in the format 4x minus 5x to the power half minus 44 is equal to 0. Okay. So we already have the first derivative equation over here, which was 3x square minus, this was our first derivative equation, 3x square minus 5x to the power 1.5. Now to take the second derivative, we need to take the derivative of this once more. So the derivative of 3x square is going to give you 6x, and the derivative of this portion is going to give me 1.5 minus 1, right? Okay, so that is 6x minus 7.5x to the power 0.5. And it is given that this f double dash of x, or the second derivative, is equal to 66. So I can just equate it to 66. Now, it has to be, we need to prove that this is of this particular format. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to bring everything to one side. So this term I can bring it to the other side first of all. So I have 6x minus 7.5 x to the power 0.5 minus 66 is equal to 0. So you can see over here what that has to be done is, to make 7.55, you need to divide the whole thing divided by 1.5. That is what you need to check. Or you can check this one. If you need to make 6 as 4, you need to divide the 6 divided by 1.5. So when you divide it by 1.5 throughout, you will be getting the answer as 4x minus 5x to the power 0.5 minus 44 is equal to 0. Again, we'll go through the mark division of this particular portion. So the first mark is for the correct uh, differentiation of this particular step. Sorry, from this step to the second derivative step. And for the method mark, they only are checking for these particular terms. So if these particular terms are correct, you'll get the first method mark. And if your answer is correct with the correct constants of 6 and 7.5, then you'll get the accuracy mark. And then for the simplification, you'll get the last accuracy mark. Okay. So that is your first portion of this question, B. Now we go to the second portion of that question, which says that we need to show that x equal to 16 is the only solution for this particular equation. So we already have the equation, which is 4x minus 5x to the power 0.5 minus 44. So whenever you see an equation of this format where you have a root term and a normal x term, you can't actually solve it using quadratic functions. So you need to convert it into a quadratic equation. So the best thing is to take the smallest term of x. So this is the smallest power of x. So that you can assume it as another variable, say y. So if that is y, then what would be x? X would be y square, because root of x is y. So to get x, you need to square on both sides. So you'll get x is equal to y square. So I can replace the x and the x to the power 0.5 by the terms of y. So we have 4y square minus 5y minus 44 is equal to 0. So again, you can use a calculator, but make sure that you show the steps for this one. So I factorize this one. So I'll be getting 4y square minus 16y plus 11y minus 44 is equal to 0. So now I have 4y in common here. I have 4y minus, sorry, y minus 4 plus 11 multiplied by y minus 4 is equal to 0. Now I have 4y plus 11 times y minus 4 is equal to 0. Now which gives me y is equal to negative 11 by 4 and y is equal to 4. Now I need to find out the value of x over here, not y. Most of the students, they stop with that particular portion over there, but I need to show for the calculate for the value of x. So I know the relation between y and x is this one. Y is equal to root of x, so, or y square is equal to x. So I just need to square y. So I get y square is equal to 4 times 4, which is equal to 16. That is the value of x. Now for this one, I have y is equal to minus 11 by 4. So the next solution would be the square of this, which is y square is equal to negative 11 by 4, the whole square, which will give me 121 by 16, right? So that is the x value for the second one. Okay, but the common mistake is that you cannot consider, or you cannot take any square root, or you cannot get any square root value as negative. So this is a common mistake that most of the students make. So they think that this is equal to 121 by 16 also. But the thing is that the square root value of any number cannot be negative over here, because over here you can see that it is given in the question that the x value is always positive. Okay, so in that case you can't take this particular solution. The only solution would be for the x value is equal to 16. Okay, and we'll go through the mark division also. This is again a 5-mark question. So the first method mark is for factorizing this portion. Sorry, this is actually a 2-mark question. So this is for factorizing the correct portion over here, and the last mark was for the correct answer. Okay. So this actually has a portion where it is mentioned that you need to specify the valid reason why you are rejecting the other solution also. Okay. So I hope you all understood the question. Thank you so much.